What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
Good as night, right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look at the damn mess, just a damn mess. Please no, and yes means no. What up? What's good, people? What's up? It's me, L Teddy 27, and I'm back for another review. This is going to be our review for PValley Season 1, Episode 8. This is the season finale, and it is entitled Murder Night. Now, it was a lot going on. I got to points during this episode where I was just like, it was just too much going on at one time. Let's piece through it. We start off with Montavious and Haley. They still down in the Paradise room, okay? So, we find out that she's a former corporate attorney. Not corporate attorney, corporate accountant, okay? And she took $250,000 from him, $250,000 from him. She claims she put it all in the bank and that they ain't ask her no questions about where this money came from. That's what she claimed. One of the other strippers starts knocking at the door, and so he starts to kind of choke her out a little bit. And so after that, she was like, listen, there's cameras all over this room. Somebody's going to see her. He was like, well, then you need to start dancing so they don't think there's nothing wrong. So she starts dancing. We then see Lil Murder and Mississippi getting ready to go on stage. So they go on stage. He throws, so he's performing. She's dancing. You know, they doing their thing. He throws his little fur coat out in the crowd. And some chick gets the fur coat. Baby, when I tell you, Uncle Clifford went over there real fast, it snatched said coat from mama girl, where you think you going with my boo coat? I mean, he didn't say that, but he was like, get your dick beaters and your cum snatchers off off this coat. Thank you, boo. Thank you, doll. And takes it from her. The music executive is there, and he's talking to manager dude, Lil Murder's manager. And he said, listen, that's the real star right there, Mississippi. She's the real star. And so all the while, Mississippi's white boyfriend, Derek, is watching all of this, and he can't stand all the attention that she's getting. He can't stand it. Anyway, Diamond and Big L is at the door. So Diamond ain't letting nobody get in. He ain't letting nobody get in at the door. He without signing a petition and making sure that they ain't got no weapons on them. So Diamond is making sure that he screens everybody that come through. Pay attention to that. Mercedes asks, Mercedes goes into the room with that coach. Remember the coach who she danced for a couple episodes ago? She goes into a private room with him. She ends up asking him for $10,000, the rest of the money that she needs for her gym. He was like, what? He was like, well, if I'm going to give you $10K, then you need to make me part owner. She was like, no. Well, then he says, what I'm giving you money for? He was like, well, how about I'll buy you a condo up on the river, and I'll get you some season passes for skybox season passes to watch the games, and I get a key to this condo to come and entertain myself with you whenever I want. She was like, do your wife know about this? And he was like, she sure does. A mess. Anyway, we then see Lil Murder and the music exec. They're getting ready to go talk business with the manager, and so Lil Murder tells Mississippi to come with them. So Mississippi comes with them. What happened before that happened, as they were getting ready to go, some chick came up to them and pulled her titties out and told Lil Murder to sign her titties. Remember, Uncle Clifford already told them, y'all ain't supposed to have no titties out at this goddamn bar while we serving drinks. Anyway, Uncle Clifford makes her put them away. And it made it seem like Uncle Clifford was trying to hate on anybody that was trying to have any piece of Lil Murder. That's what it kind of seemed like. Mississippi tells, she said, well, go handle your business. And she tells Lil Murder to go handle his business. The record executive, I got that wrong. He's the one who told Mississippi, nah, you come with us. So Mississippi goes with them, and the white boy sees this, and he is not too pleased about it at all. He is not pleased. He comes up and he tries to go behind him and call Mississippi. She don't hear him. I think she did hear him, but she kept going with them, and there was too many people in between them where he can get to her. We then see Big L watching Haley dance for Montavious in the Paradise room on camera. Uncle Clifford comes in the office And so they both see that Haley got her titties out. And remember, you're not supposed to have your titties out. You're not supposed to be naked. So Uncle Clifford tells Big L to have Diamond take care of it, and he leaves. Big L calls Diamond, and Diamond says, listen, I can't come right now. I got too much going on at the door. You need to go handle it, Big L. So Big L said, all right, I'll go handle it. Before he could, he got the text from Gitch's boyfriend, the white boy who's supposed to help him sell the drugs, said, listen, I got a shipment outside in the back of the truck. You need to come out here now. So Big L was like, oh, well, I ain't got time to go handle that. I got to go get these good drugs. So that means that Haley is left in there with Montavious by herself. Diamond ain't coming. Big L ain't coming. Uncle Clifford ain't coming. Anyway, Diamond is at the door. Remember the little fat boy who Prison Bay had wearing his ankle bracelet? Anyway, he's at the door with a fake ID. You know Prison Bay gave him that fake ID. He a legit. He's just young as hell. Just a young legit. Anyway, Diamond lets him in. Diamond says, you know what? Fuck it. It's the last night to paint. Go ahead. You can come on in. Little fat boy goes up to the little VIP room immediately where Mercedes was. And he tells Mercedes, listen, I got a message from you from Prison Bay. Prison Bay is in jail because he let one of his cousins wear the ankle monitor. And the cousin went and robbed the crystals. And so now he in jail. But he had a message for Mercedes, and he gives him the flyer. He gives Mercedes the flyer that has Haley's face on it and her name and everything. So while she's looking at the flyer, she figures out who Montavious is and the fact that Haley's in danger. So she's still in there with the coach. She tells the coach, you know what, coach, I'm gonna have to hold off on your offer. It might be a little too expensive for me at this time. She leaves and goes to running to the office to see if Uncle Clifford or Big L or somebody can get in there and help Haley, because she knows Haley's in danger. Ain't nobody at the office. Ain't nobody to help. Meanwhile, while she's doing all of this, DJ 7 Period Class is announcing on the mic that it's time for her to come up and do her last dance. She then ends up, we then end up seeing Big L out back with Gidget boyfriend, and they looking at that whole shipment of drugs that done came in. And so forth. So Big L got all these, I'm sure he got a whole lot of plans for these drugs and whatnot. Back at this meeting where you got the executive, Lil Murder's manager, Lil Murder in Mississippi, we find out that the manager used to work at a funeral home, and that's how he met the record executive, because he helped him bury his mama. Anyway, he helped the record executive bury his mama. So the record executive says he wants to sign Lil Murder, but he says that he needs somebody who's going to be an authentic gangster, somebody who is true to this, and all of this, that, and the third. And so both Mercedes and the manager look around like, he no authentic gangster. We know what he likes. Anyway, so but he puts on for the record exec. Then we see that he wants Lil Murder to no longer work with DJ 7 Period Class as a producer, and he wants him to get a new manager. And he had the audacity to say this in front of the current manager. So disrespectful. And Lil Murder is like, that's my manager. I want to keep my manager. And DJ 7 Period Class is my producer. I want to keep my producer. And he was like, nah, if you going to get big time, you're going to work with big time managers and big time producers. Anyway, Uncle Clifford comes in there and tries to, get a feel for what's going on. He has his hand all on Lil Murder's shoulder. And Lil Murder dismisses him. And was like, we talking business. We handling business. You need to leave. And so after that, Uncle Clifford looked at Mississippi and told her, boo, don't stay here too long, because one of your regulars, and he looks at her boyfriend, her white boyfriend, Derek, is looking for you. And so he leaves. The record exec then gets real disrespectful and starts throwing out homophobic, references and statements all about Uncle Clifford. And Mississippi stands up for Uncle Clifford and says, that's my boss. Don't fuck off with my boss. I don't play by my boss, this, and that, and the third. And, she shoots a couple bars. He was like, oh, you got bars too? You can rap too? I sign both of y'all right now. If y'all want, I can sign both of y'all right now. You, Mississippi, and Lil Murder. Back in the Paradise Room, Montavious tells Haley how he killed some dude named Ade that was helping her with the money transfer. But before he died, he told her about one transfer. And that one transfer was the first one she did for $9,000. And that's how he got to her there in Chucalissa. We also find out that they ain't even married. And he's in some gang or something like that. Mercedes comes to the door with a bottle. Talk about bottle service. And she ends up busting in the room and says, I'm standing here. You're going to get both of us. For a dance. She's trying to protect her. Protect Haley. Uncle Clifford goes to the office. He is clearly bothered by being dismissed by Lil Murder. and he pours himself a drink. He sees Haley and Mercedes in the Paradise Room, the cameras, and he sees Haley still got her titties out. He was like, I know you the fuck lying. He calls Diamond on the radio and tells Diamond, asks Diamond, why you ain't handle that? Why you ain't handle it? You were supposed to be handle that. And Diamond said, well, Big L said he was going to handle it. And so Uncle Clifford tells him that he needs to take care of it now, that he needs to go ahead and handle that now. He tells that to Diamond. After that, Lil Murder is at the door. Lil Murder, and I was wondering how this conversation was going to go. Lil Murder comes in, and Lil Murder says, listen, that was just business. I ain't mean it. You know, I was just trying to flex, you know, for this business deal I got. And Uncle Clifford is like, listen, you gave me this whole song and dance about how you was ready to, you know, not be sucking and fucking in the dark all the time. You was ready for this. And it seems like you not. And, you know, he goes and said, listen, my grandma always told me believe somebody when they believe what somebody first shows you. And he was like, Lil Marcus is ready to be in public with me. Lil Murder is not. And you showed me Lil Murder first, and I believe you. And he was like, you know what? That's it. So it was kind of a breakup, but I don't even know how you have a breakup if y'all ain't even together. Y'all weren't even together. But it seemed like a breakup or whatever. Anyway, so he leaves, Lil Murder leaves from there. Mississippi, the manager, and the exec are still at the meeting. White boy comes over and tells Mississippi, listen, I need to talk to you now. She was like, give me a minute. He was like, no, I need to talk to you now. And she was like, she kind of yelled at him a little bit. So then he left. Manager dude, she ends up leaving. She, you know, talks to manager dude for a little bit longer, but then ends up leaving and says, let me go work this floor or whatever. Manager dude talks to the exec and says, listen, you seem like you're more interested in Mississippi than you are in Lil Murder. And he was like, I am. I really am not here for your boy. I'm here for Mississippi. He was like, if that's the case, if you ain't here to side my boy, we ain't gonna roll with you. It ain't gonna happen. So then we see Mississippi goes over there to see Derek, her white boyfriend. He is real angry. He grabbing her by the throat and saying, you need to get your shit and we need to get out of here now. You need to leave now. And he was like, if you don't leave, it's going to be consequences and a problem. And she was like, when I do leave, it's going to be a problem. Anyway, she knows he's going to beat her ass when they get there. But you see this look on her face and you get the feeling like, okay, maybe she's had enough and she's finally fed up with it and finally going to stick up for herself. She might be at her breaking point. Back in the Paradise Room, Montavious tells Mercedes to get out. Mercedes says, I ain't getting out unless Haley, she makes sure to say Haley's name, wants me out. Ooh. Sorry, y'all, I got distracted. This young man, well, he ain't a young man. This dad is out there running with his son, but daddy is cute. And they jogging and, you know, stuff is swinging back and forth. It distracted me out the window. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, Haley tells Mercedes, go ahead and go. Just leave. I got this. I handle it. But before Mercedes leaves, she breaks the bottle of that champagne and tries to put it to Montavious' neck. And he overpowers her. And now he has it to her neck. And he tells Haley, listen, go get my fucking money. Or I'm going to kill her. And so, because Haley had already admitted and told him that she keeps the money in the club. She don't keep it in the bank. She had been lying. She keep it in her locker. So Haley goes there. Haley leaves to go get the money. But instead of getting the money, Haley take off her stripper clothes, put on regular clothes, and get ready to bail on out of there. And the whole time this is going on, I kept thinking, where the fuck is Diamond? Where the fuck is Diamond? Anyway, Haley goes to the locker. She looks for her pink gun. It's missing. The whole pink gun is missing. She changes into these regular clothes and tries to make a break for it. And then when she gets in the car, she, instead of driving off, she decides to stay. Mercedes still in the Paradise Room with Montavious. So he pushes her off. And so he tells her, she gets him to admit that he took care of Haley, that he took her and her child. And he says that once she got tired of him, she shot him and left him for dead in the kitchen. And so after that, Mercedes tells him, you don't even want the money. You want her. You love her. Anyway, Lil Murder back on stage performing. I guess he done gave up on being LaMarcus. He's full swing Lil Murder. And he's on stage performing his last song. Uncle Clifford calls Big L on the radio. Where you at in the office? How the fuck you in the office and I'm in the goddamn office? He was like office adjacent. Uncle Clifford hangs up the radio with him. He looks on the camera, sees that Montavious is over here, got this bottle to Mercedes, pointed at Mercedes. He radios Diamond, cold red. Diamond don't answer. So he grabs one of the guns out of the little stash that they took from the people at the door and is going to take care of it himself. Meanwhile, in the bathroom, Derek is over there taking a piss. Diamond comes in the bathroom and say, "Why you putting your hands on Keyshawn?" And they get into a whole big fight and whatnot. In the Paradise room, Haley comes back with the money. She decided not to leave. Haley tells Montavious that her daughter Autumn died because Montavious thought the daughter was still alive. She was like, "No, she died in a flood when I was trying to get away from your ass." Anyway, back in the bathroom where they fighting, magically White Boy had a gun. Now I'm trying to figure out, Diamond ain't seen it for White Boy the entirety of this series. How the fuck White Boy managed to get a gun in if Diamond is that closely checking everybody that come up in this fucker? Make it make sense. Anyway, the gun goes off. Everybody in the club hears the gun goes off, and everybody hightails it and starts running out the club. Big L outside and sees the commotion is like, "Oh goddamn, fuck! I done fucked up," and he starts to hear gunshots too. Mercedes and Haley hear the gunshots, and then they start trying to fight off Montavious. Uncle Clifford comes in with the gun that he had, and he got the gun, and he comes in there and to help Mercedes and Haley. White Boy Derek and Diamond are still fighting. Now they in the on the floor of the club, fighting and carrying on. Gidget is outside with Mississippi and tells Mississippi Derek and Diamond are in there fighting. Mississippi is like, "Oh goddamn." Mississippi gets the pink gun that she had taken from Haley's locker that I thought she was going to use on Diamond. Not on Diamond, on Derek. Goes in there, sees Derek beating up Diamond. She tells Derek to stop. Then Diamond gets the upper hand, and Diamond starts beating up on Derek, and he starts wailing on Derek. And then Mississippi pulls the gun on Diamond and tells Diamond, get off him. Diamond is like, "Well, fuck it. You want to get your..." And at that point, I was like, "Oh, so you like getting your ass whooped? Well, if you want to get your ass whooped, then go ahead, go for it. You got it. It's your world." So after that, Diamond hears gunshots back in the Paradise room, and Diamond goes and takes the gun that Derek had dropped and goes to the Paradise room to see what that's about. After that, where am I at? Because it was so much going on. Listen, let me say this. This was the point. The last maybe about 20 minutes. It was just so much going on. It was hard. It was so hard to take notes and keep track of what was going on. There were times where it was so much going on that it was good, but there were times where it was too much going on, and it was just too much. It was just too much at one time, and I didn't enjoy certain parts of it like I wanted to because it was just way too much going on. Anyway, when Diamond gets to the door, Diamond hears gunshots go off. Next thing you know, a pool of blood is running out the door to the Paradise room. We don't see who it is. Next thing we know, we're on the next day. Grandma Ernestine is sitting on the porch crying. She got on all black because she getting ready to go to a funeral. Uncle Clifford comes out draped in his black gown and his funeral hat tilted to the side. They get ready to go to the auction at the city hall or at the courthouse, like this is a doggone funeral. Then we see Mercedes. Now this is the part that I didn't understand. Mercedes is down there with her mom at her mom's church that she has now opened, okay, with her money. And she's trying to, I guess, make nice and mend fences with the mom all of a sudden. And she was like, "You told me God gives second chances," and the mom. And Patrick's like third, fourth, and fifth too. So then she was like, "But you told me you did to me, that I'm dead to you. So let's keep it that way." And she goes to the church and doesn't let Mercedes in. And then Mercedes starts crying and all of this and the third. And I didn't understand that. I really did. I really didn't understand that whole part. I really didn't. I was confused. From the character development that we had with Mercedes at that point, that did not fit. It just did not fit in how you develop this character. So I didn't like that part. So she didn't carry. Mercedes is all crying and distraught and carried on. Anyway, down to the auction, the girls from the Pink done came draped in black like they had a funeral too. So they all watching this go down. Andre, I forgot to tell you, Andre's wife says she's going to the auction too. So she goes to the auction with them, with Andre. So Andre is sitting in the back with the mayor. He's going to do the bidding on the paint. They have instructions. Well, Andre has instructions to spend no more than $200,000 on the paint. So they start bidding. He bids 55, which is the amount of the auction, the paint. Then he bids against himself and bids 56. And his wife is like, "Why are you bidding against himself?" And so did the mayor. And we was like, "Well, they don't got to know how much we spent. They don't got to know how this went. Let them get their money's worth. Let them earn it." And so then, see, he did it stupid. Had he done that, because Haley hadn't come in yet, he probably could have got, going once, going twice, sold for $55,000. But you try to be greedy. And after that $56,000 bet, Haley walks in. She's in all white and some shades. And Haley bids above him. And he's looking like, what? So then they keep bidding back and forth. Haley bids, he bids. Then Haley bid $150K. He bid a little bit more than that. Haley bid $200K. He said, "I'm not allowed to go above that." He was like, "Well, you need to call the mayor's like, you need to call the man from the property line and see if you can go higher, because we can't lose this deal." So he tries to call the man, get the man on the phone. The mayor done bid $215. I think the mayor bid $215. And what's the boy name? Andre gets the guy on the phone, but only he can hear the guy on the phone. So the guy's like, "Hello, hello, hello," and so Andre just hangs up the phone. And so Haley bids $250,000. And so the auctioneer looks at them. "Are you gonna go? Do I hit 260? Do I hit 260? And so it's sold. The mayor says, "Now wait a minute. The bylaws say that you got to have the money on hand if you plan to participate in this auction." And she unloads her bag with $250 in cash. So now here's my thought. My thought on why Andre allowed that to happen was, I think he was more so, I don't think he really wanted to help out Uncle Clifford and the Pink. I think he was more so scared about what Haley might say to his wife. I think he was scared that Uncle Clifford as well, if Uncle Clifford, because you knew Uncle Clifford could be just as messy, and he knew Haley wasn't seeing him like that either. And so I think he figured that if I try to rock the boat too much and stop this, they're going to tell my wife about my dealings with Haley. And so that's why I think he decided to let it go. So then we see in the hallway outside the auction room, Haley tells Uncle Clifford, "We're partners now." So they get down to the Pink, and you see Uncle Clifford cleaning up. Grandma Ernestine is fixing a drink. This blind lady is the most capable blind person I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, so she fixing a drink. Haley say, "I don't drink." So Uncle Clifford asks her, "Well, why'd you do it?" She was like, "Listen, at one point you owed me. I owed you, and now you owe me." And so they're going to be partners together. Anyway, Mercedes comes. And she's all distraught still and everything. She starts saying, "Last night," and the grandma says, "Listen, tomorrow is today. Last night was last night, and tomorrow is today. Okay? It's tomorrow. Don't worry about what happened last night." And so Mercedes is like, "Did y'all take care of that?" And so it was kind of twofold. Did y'all take care of, I guess, Montavious' body? Because I'm guessing he the one that ended up dead. "Did y'all take care of that body?" And Uncle Clifford is like, "Yeah." And Haley says, "Yeah, we took care of it." And that means, yeah, they took care of the body and they took care of the paint. Meaning that they got the paint as well. So Haley was like, "All right, it's time. It's opening time for the paint to open." I don't know how y'all gonna open with the pink all messed up like that. But it goes off from there. Overall, it was a good show. Good season. I anticipate them giving us much more storyline in season 2. There are a lot of questions. You have the whole Mississippi and Derek part. You have the whole little murder part. You have the whole part about now Uncle Clifford and Haley are in a partnership together. You got the whole thing with Mercedes and Terica that they dropped the ball on this season. We got the whole Diamond situation with him and Lil and Mississippi. We got the whole situation with Big L trying to sell these drugs with Gidget's boyfriend. It's a lot of open storylines for season 2. Is Lil Murder gonna take the deal? I mean, I don't know. It's so many questions to be answered, and I'm guessing we'll see them in season 2. But it was a fun ride this first season. Let's see what season 2 brings us next, whenever it comes back out. Until then, that's all I got for y'all. Thanks y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.